Assalamualaikum and hi everybody. My name is Syifaa binti Farudin, a student from class N5MC 1101. A lot of people think that microsleep is a common thing and there is nothing to be worried about, but is it true? Try to ask yourself, have you ever experienced microsleep in your entire life? What does it feel like? After a long day of work, you are driving home and suddenly you realize you don't remember the last mile. Sounds familiar? Well, if so, that means you have experienced microsleep. According to the Wikipedia, a microsleep is a temporary episode of sleep or drowsiness that lasts for a fraction of a second or up to 30 seconds if an individual fails to respond and becomes unconscious to some arbitrary sensory input. Your eyes may be open during this rather bizarre state. You may be sitting upright and you may even be performing a task, but some areas of your brain have gone completely offline. You may think you are awake, in other words, but part of your brain are actually asleep. It is not surprising then that microsleeping can be dangerous or can even lead to fatalities. For this video, I would like to present my informative speech, which I will inform my audience more about the danger of microsleep, symptoms, causes, and its prevention. So, my first point is microsleep sometimes can be harmless, but it can also be extremely dangerous, which can lead you and others to potential injury or even death. Sometimes, if you are like most of us, you might be desperately asking yourself, what happened when I experienced microsleep? Or has it already happened to me without even realizing it? While the responses may not be encouraging, but understanding the risk of it is really important to us. The risk of an accident, along with the seriousness of the effect, is very high when microsleep occur on the road while driving or while we are operating the machine. 3 seconds is long enough to travel 300 feet in the wrong direction, either to a ditch or to a cliff at a distance of 60 miles per hour. Scientists have been able to measure localized brain area during microsleep that switches to slow wave that looks like sleep-like activity. However, there are more risks than just operating a motor vehicles. This microsleep can also occur while you are doing your work, which might lead you to make a lot of mistakes in the task that you are doing. For example, it can also happen when you are doing some editing on a spreadsheet, entering important data, or maybe when you are handling sensitive or confidential data that should be done carefully and perfectly. Next, moving on to the second point of my speech, which is what are the symptoms that shows you are having microsleep. Being conscious of the symptom is the best way to avoid the side effects of drowsiness when you experience microsleep. Microsleep can be hard to recognize, therefore, there are a few types of conditions associated with microsleep symptoms. There are a few indicators according to the study that can signal that you are about to experience an episode of microsleep. I highly suggest you to stop doing anything that you are working on and take some time for a power nap and to have a good rest if you find yourself experiencing any of the following. So, warning sign of a microsleep episode include excessive yawning and inability to keep your eyes open, muscle twitches, and we will also start to blinking hard frequently. By the time you cannot keep your eyes open, it shows that you could already be experiencing microsleep. This is a good indicator that you need to take a break because sight is a necessary element for operating a vehicle or performing dangerous tasks. Secondly, when you start blinking hardly or frequently, this might be the sign of daytime sleepiness. When it accompanies one or more other warning signs, it is a safe bet that it's time for you to take a break. A study conducted at the Clinic Charité University Medicine in Berlin shows that a dependable indicator of daytime sleepiness is rapid eyes blinking. Next, the hypnic jerk, or in simpler word we call it as muscle twitches, is a sign that your body is fighting the urge to sleep. But remember, your brain is in control, so you might only have a short while left before it takes over and you are out of control. We don't know exactly what causes them, but it's important to call it quits and turn off light if they happen when you need to be awake. So before something worse happens, you are suggested to take a break. Excessive yawning is the fourth sign that might be shown when you are about to experience microsleep. This is a surefire indication that your FSC is registering. While we still don't know exactly why yawning is so contagious, we do know that sleep or boredom are strongly associated with it. This is one of the first signs that your brain could be about to take over by microsleep. Moving on to the second last point, which is the third point, what is the causes of microsleep to happen? A single night of insufficient sleep, boredom, and normal circadian slump can result in increased episodes of microsleep. Sleep deprivation is the most common inducer of microsleep. Due to the sleep disorders such as insomnia, sleep apnea, or due to environmental and lifestyle changes such as night shift or long working hour, insufficient sleep may occur. The feeling of excessive daytime sleepiness or drowsiness, which can increase the risk of microsleep, may also be induced by certain medication. In terms of driving, nighttime is when a large percentage of microsleep incidents occur. Often, when drivers drive at night and they have place to go or deadline to meet, they will eventually force themselves to push on. This is the reason why they are highly exposed to microsleep. Sleepiness can also be brought on by doing repetitive, boring, or monotonous tasks. Repeated simple tasks, prolonged sitting, riding in an aeroplane or train, and many more are common times to experience a microsleep. Boredom can trigger it sometimes, even if you are well rested. During times when the circadian rhythm detects the body should be asleep, microsleep is most likely to occur, such as at dawn, late at night, or in the mid-afternoon. The exact cause of microsleep is not fully understood, but when part of the brain falls asleep while other parts of the brain stay awake, it is believed to happen. You don't have to worry. The good news is the microsleeping is totally avoidable and you can avoid the risk of harm or injury with a few good habits. Once your internal sleep pressure and biological clock decide it's time to snooze, this is no guarantee way to stop off sleep. The best way to avoid the dangers of episode of microsleep is simply to be conscious. Microsleep often result directly from sleep deprivation. Sleep well enough and listen to your body. Take a power nap. Because a short 20-minute siesta can recharge your brain in order for you to be more alert for a longer period of time. The elimination of sleep deprivation can therefore help to decrease the possibility of microsleep. If you know you are going to drive a lot more than usual, especially late at night, it's important to make sure that the week before the trip you get enough rest and plenty of sleep. If possible, drive with a passenger. In order to prevent microsleep, you can also keep your body moving or maybe listen to upbeat music. The mind stays more engaged by fidgeting, stretching, and moving. After a heavy lunch, if you find yourself feeling extra weary, getting up for a brisk walk can help increase the wakefulness of your body. Loud, upbeat music, on the other hand, can lift your mood. Upbeat music is great for brain stimulation and can increase alertness, awareness, and even memory. Do not push yourself to continue driving or do potential harder work when you feel tired. Taking turn napping and driving can be effective in preventing microsleep if you have another passenger in the car who is more awake. Not only that, it can also help you to be fully awake by asking someone to talk to you and have a lively conversation. Chatting forces you to focus on the back and forth of a conversation. Plus, your breathing rate is increased by talking, which puts more oxygen in your bloodstream. This shows that microsleep has its own danger, symptoms, causes, and also its prevention. Also, bear in your mind that microsleep can be a dangerous condition, so learn how to find signs and symptoms in yourself and others of this condition. Not only does improving the quality of your sleep stop you from falling asleep at the wrong place at the time, but it can also lead to better health. Terry Gilliam once said that a day without a nap is like a cupcake without frosting. Everything you do, you will do better with a good night's sleep. I hope we all gain some knowledge from my speech. Sleep well, lie fully awake. That's all from me. Thank you.